Whoops. Haha. Sorry, folks. All right. I hope you are all doing well today. I'm not gonna really put any image up here except leave the background. Actually, give me a second here. Let me put some image of some anime. I think I have something. Sorry, I didn't think about this when I was doing this. I'm like, wait, I should have put something here. Oh, I didn't. So, give me 1 second, folks. But I hope everybody's been doing well. 2022 has been a hell of a year, I've got to say. But joining me is going to be Mr. FGC Chris. We are going to be going over animes, maybe more, give or take on our time. We're just going to talk about the animes, maybe some games, whatnot we've enjoyed over 2022. Because I will say it's definitely been, it was a lackluster year for movies, but other things, animes and all that, oh my goodness, been banger after banger. You want to start us off, Mr. Chris?
Hey everybody, this is FGC Chris here with my friend Joshua.
Say it right,
And like
damn
he
it.
said, we're gonna just let's just have a casual conversation about the anime season and just random topics that might pop into our heads. Well, I guess probably the first one, probably the one that we both probably agree on is probably one of the best animes that came out this year was probably Edge Runners. Like that, I still even now it's like I can't think of another anime that I like better than Edge Runners this year. Like it was just 8 episodes, and it's like it's not perfect, but it's about as close to perfect as you can get with a short series. And it's kind of making me hope that they actually start doing more of those because I would really like to see a 8 episode series on Atom Smasher, just him doing covert Black Ops stuff. Like I think that would be pretty fun and pretty cool.
That would be very interesting to see. Give me a second here. Urgh. No, that not of that one. Give me Chainsaw Man then. Fine. Stupid Google. But Cyberpunk, you know what? That's actually perfect. Think about that. Cyberpunk Edge Runner. I just. Whew.
Like I just literally rewatched it today. And I'm like, yeah, yep, it holds up. Months later after it comes out, it still holds up. It's still good. Even though I know what's gonna happen, I know how it ends. It's still a good show.
Oh, indeed. Hang on. Fine. I'm locking you in place so you don't move anymore. Give me a second. I'm pulling up a picture of best character from Cyberpunk. There we go. Yes. Yes, I had this on my computer. Yes. Before Rebecca got her unfortunate end. But yeah,
they,
man, you it.
they could totally bring her back.
She's not coming back, man. She got smashed into
They could they could
atoms.
they could always say, oh, she backed up her mind and her brain waves on a chip somewhere, and like they could work around it.
Listen, this isn't Avatar 2. We're not even going to get into that shenanigans, damn it.
I have no interest to watch that movie.
And it was okay. It was like a 6 to me. I don't even want to talk about it. But
Yeah, that's like 13 years too late there, James Cameron.
uh, spent too much money on it too. Yeah, $2 billion. We need to make $2 billion just to break even. I'm like, bro, you should not have been handed a blank check, Disney. What the hell were you thinking? Oh
He,
well,
he might
paying the
he might
price.
do it. He's already hit 1 billion.
I mean, if they at least do a third just to finish it out. But man, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, man. I mean, from the music, from the start to the finish, it's a complete show, and it's amazing. I feel like we only get one of these shows. I feel like almost every 2 years or something, or every 5 years maybe, where it's just everything is just has you on the edge of your seat. You cannot wait to see what happens next each episode. Even though it's only a 12 episode series, it just I'm just every scene I'm just hanging by a thread. Like when we first meet with David, that poor boy. The second episode, his mom's dead. And it's like, oh, here you go. His mom's in a can. Sorry. I was like, what the freak, man?
Yeah, that's when episode 2 when everything goes off the rails. But somewhat goes off the rail. Because I thought he would have been okay if he hadn't just kept going with the enhancements. And he just kind of stayed where he was. When we see him at after the other guy dies and he takes over. If he had just stayed at that level, I think he would have been all right. He still would have been alive.
He should have stopped like where he was. We'll say like episode, I think 6 it was. I mean, he's just like buffed out and all that. You kind of see some of the cyber psychosis kind of kicking in, and he's like, I'm like, dude, you just need to like scale back some of the cybernetics, dude. Lucy's like, you'll get the money soon enough to go to the moon. But no, just more enhancements so I can make we can get the job done faster. It's like, bro, stop.
Yeah, but I think that kind of plays into David's character because he's not one for patience. You can see that from the second his mom dies and he gets to Sandevistan. He just like, I don't even care, implanted, and then I'm finna go beat this guy up.
Pretty much.
He's not really thinking further ahead than just in the moment.
Well, to be fair, that kid did deserve that, being an asshole. Just saying. It had that coming.
Yeah, but it was more hurtful because he sees it at the end. Like, his mom didn't want him to go down that path. She wanted him to go to school, rise through the ranks the right way, and get to the top of the company. And he kind of, when she passed away, he kind of just veered off left, and it was not a good thing.
I mean, he went to where he thought was best, I guess, because I mean, good Lord, the Night City is not a nice place. That's putting it bluntly. It's like Las Vegas; it will eat you alive, just for the hell of it.
Which I think they're gonna make more.
I hope they do some of the other protagonists, because this was a prequel to 2070 Cyberpunk 2077. Because for those that have played the RPG, there are some amazing characters. Like, if they would do a rivalry between what is his name? He's another solo like type mercenary. I forget his name, but him and Adam Smash were like the top two. The other guy was number one. Adam Smasher just had this thing. I just hated him and all that. It's crazy. Now, there was another guy like Adam Smasher that was not on. There was a list of like mercenaries or whatever from the game. There was a guy that's like fully cyborged, like fully cyber, like Adam Smasher. He was like rated number 5, but he wasn't an asshole like Adam Smasher or a complete psychopath. So.
Yeah, that's why I say I really hope they do an Adam Smasher series. Like, give him like even if you do like a short series, like I said, 6 or 8 episodes, and you just see him doing mercenary stuff, and kind of just delve into his personality and stuff. Like, how did he become so famous?
Actually, you know what? They should just do a series on like all of those guys that are like the top mercenaries. That would be essentially amazing, actually. I'll think about that.
Yeah, it could be like what's something? The Mandalorian. Except good.
Well, the Mandalorian's fine. It's just the Book of Boba Fett. God dang it! Those teenagers and those blasted Power Ranger scooters. Won't even get into that. Another one I would say that is kind of a late one for it. Well, I'll blame you for this one, but you suggested it to me. My Jurassic Darling.
Oh yeah.
Like, I try to avoid slice of life stuff most of the time nowadays, but that came out this year. I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a watch because like JoJo Part 4 is one of my probably my second favorite out of the JoJos. And
Is
it
that
being
the
a slice of life.
is that the one with the girl that's in prison?
No, that would be Part 6, Stone Ocean. That's
Uh,
Jolene Cujo. That's Jotaro Kujo's daughter. Part 4 is where you got Josuke. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because I can't remember off the top of my head. He is the illegitimate son of Joseph Joestar, who is the grandson of Jonathan Joestar. Yeah, he was a bit of a playboy. There's and then like Giorno Giovanni, he is related to them in some, I guess, a cousin aspect. The family tree is really weird. Okay, Giorno is one of Dio's kids, the only one that wasn't corrupt. The others you meet in Stone Ocean if you once you watch it. Anyways, yeah, My Dress Up Darling. I have to say, was it? Please forgive me if I mess up the girl's name. Main girl's name is it Marina or Maria?
oh, I have not thought about her in a minute.
Eh,
What is her name? Marion.
Something like that. Yeah, best girl out of that series. Top notch. Highly recommend if you want a good slice of life anime.
Yep, definitely. It was on be in my probably my top five of this year.
I can't really like do a top this year just because it just
There was a lot of good anime came out this year. So probably this has actually been a very good year for anime and anime movies.
yeah, like Dragon Ball Superhero. That was really good. Gamma 1, Gamma 2. Let's go.
Like now that I had more time away from it, I'm kind of like, was it really that good? I'm
Don't
like,
make me send you to Jesus. I will do it.
yeah, because I compare everything to Super Broly movie. I'm like,
Now,
it's
yes,
like
the
if
Brawley movie was better. Yes.
yeah,
But for
would I go back to it and watch it again? Yeah, I probably would skip all the way to the fight at the end. I would probably skip a vast majority of it because a lot of it's just Piccolo. It's basically like Piccolo and Gohan, but except Pan and Piccolo. It's
Piccolo's
kind of
like,
weird.
we have danger, guys. Don't worry about it. You got it. I'm not strong enough.
It is. I don't want to say it. I think the Dragon Ball movies are kind of. I think Dragon Ball itself as a whole is kind of starting to fall into a rut
I mean,
like
it's
that.
been going on since like the late 70s.
Yeah, 'cause it's like, okay, how many more transformations can you just create out of this?
Oh, don't
You know,
worry.
they're
We can
already
think of
on
more.
like they're already on par with gods almost. I'm like, what else could you really do with these characters?
I don't know. They had Frieza go gold and black. And you know, once you go black, you'll never go back. I know YouTube's going to strike me for
The,
that one.
I think if Dragon Ball wanted to do something, I would say the best thing they could do is do a Vegeta solo movie.
We will
Put
probably
Go,
get that.
you could put Goku out, maybe, and just have it a straight Vegeta movie. That way you satisfy the Vegeta fans. where they get to see their guy actually win the fight instead of being just one of the helpers.
No, no, hold on now. He did win during Dragon Ball Superhero. He finally won. You can't take that you cannot take that away from the Vegeta fans. That was in that movie. You cannot take that from him.
Well, we already knew Vegeta was the better fighter between him and Goku. Like they've hinted at that for a long time. Just like with that movie, it kind of just basically put it on Front Street, saying basically if you take all the energy blast and all this stuff, you take it away and you straight combat ability, Vegeta is better than Goku.
I'll have to disagree here. And the reason I'm saying that is because Goku lives, eats. Okay, well, eating, dear God, that man. I mean, he literally eats, sleeps, breathes, fights. That's it. That man is nothing but raw fighting talent. Vegeta, yes, he is a great combatant, but he had to get to that level through like sheer
willpower
to get there, and the only thing that was stopping him from ever getting there was a bloody ego. Goku is like, you seem strong. Here's the Senzu bean. Let's fight again. The man tried to blow up the Earth twice already, Goku. What are you doing?
Yeah, but it always comes back to Vegeta. It's like even what's his name? Whis says it. He tells him like Vegeta is actually better because he actually thinks when he fights. But that's one of his weaknesses because he doesn't react fast enough because he's thinking too much.
Yep.
And Goku doesn't think; he just reacts, and that's his weakness. So they're kind of like yin and yang almost.
Yep. Goku is more instinct, while Vegeta is more tactic.
Correct. But like I said, that's what I think would work better if they give him his own solo movie. And I think it would do well. I don't know if you could put it in theaters, but it probably would do well on DVD or something.
Oh, I'm sure it'll do well in theaters. I mean, hell. All the others have done well. Oh, on a side note, I'm going to ask you this. Do you have any interest in Ultraman? I do apologize, this being a side thing.
I thought I was actually getting back into it. Like I said, even though I know you hate the Netflix version, I thought it was actually pretty decent.
It's okay. I'm just like, I'm the old school, like, Toho type fan. I'm sorry.
I know they were trying to do what, Shin Ultraman?
Yes, that is actually coming to theaters next month on the 11th or 21st. It's Fathom Events. It's at the local theater, not far from you or I. But it's at the M-Star. So it's like a 2-day thing. But it's dubbed. That's the only thing that kind of bothers me about it. But I'm like, some of the voice actors I'm fine with. So if you want to go see it, let me know. Because I definitely do.
I definitely will, sir. Let's go ahead. Let's see. Probably, if I had to say right now, my best, I'm trying to think, is it a romance? Is it a romantic comedy? It kind of is, but I think it is classified as romance comedy. Is I Shaved and Took Home a High School Girl.
You what?
That's the name of the anime.
It's called what again?
I believe it was I Shaved and Took Home a High School Girl.
Oh, yeah, I remember you suggesting that to me. No.
Trust me, that is probably one of my, probably the best romantic comedy. It's a romantic drama because it's not really that comedic stuff in it. And trust me, it doesn't go where you think it's gonna go.
Listen, most of these don't, so I don't even try to think about it. So let's be fair here.
Like, when he meets her, she's on the street. He's coming home drunk from the bar. She's on the street. She is, I believe, at the time when he meets her, she is, I'm gonna say 17 at the time. And basically, she kind of convinces him to take her home. He takes her home and gives her, saying, basically, you're gonna have to get out by the morning because in Japan you cannot take in a runaway without getting in serious trouble with the police.
Oh yeah.
And basically he gets up the next morning and you think he's gonna sleep with her or some they're gonna start doing some inappropriate things. Never happens throughout the entire length of the series.
Oh, good.
Never. Even though she tries, and around about episode 3, she comes on super aggressive, and he turns her off, and he turns her away. It's not really based on it. It's like they really spend a lot of time delving into her character and what happened to her, why she ran away from home, and him trying to basically help her deal with the pain and the stress and everything she's going through from her past events. And people if people would actually get past the name of it, it's not what you think it is, and you watch it, it's a really good story.
So what you're telling
Now,
me is every time she's like, "I'm horny, please do me," in an angry Yandra voice, he's like screams like a little girl and goes no and jumps out a
no,
window.
no, he's
Okay, I
a
was just,
he's a full he's a salary man.
oh, I know. I
So
just
he's
kind of that's what I thought in my head.
like it's only one time when that happens. They have that interaction with each other. And like she comes on, she basically supposed to go change, and then she just comes out in her bra and panties
It's like, do
and
me.
tries to seduce him.
It's like, no, get back in there, put your clothes on.
And then the whole time they're having this conversation, she breaks down and he gets even further into knowing things that happened in her past because she's like all the other guys did it, and he just turns her away and he's just like that's not right. You shouldn't have did that. I'm not going to treat you that way. Like he really helps her build her own confidence back up in herself
Good.
to where she could actually go home and confront her mother, who basically accused her of killing her best friend. Spoilers.
Holy,
Basically
that got dark quick.
accuses her of killing her best friend, or makes the accusation, "Did you do it?" It's
Oh,
like as a parent, that's not something you really would ask
I'm
your
I'm
child.
I'm going to assume her best friend had some accident or something, and
She took her own, self deleted.
she okay. Since we're on YouTube, we have to go. She Minecraft herself or unalived?
Yeah, she unalived herself,
She checked out early.
but she did it more so. The friend did it more so because the girls were picking on her because of Sayu, who is one of the main characters, because they couldn't mess with her because she's actually popular, liked by a lot of people, so they couldn't mess with her, so they just bullied her instead. And so it led to a lot of times where the young girl would be getting bullied, beaten up in the bathroom, and then it just got to a point she couldn't take it. And Sayu witnesses her unalive herself, and then that's what sets off the events of her leaving from her brother. Her older brother gives her, I'm not sure because I forgot how much he gave, but I know he gave her enough to leave the house and go to a nice hotel for 2 weeks to kind of just be away from the mom after she accuses her.
Damn.
And then after the money runs out, she just basically leaves the hotel. Her cell phone goes dead. She throws it in the trash. She throws the envelope in the trash, and she just disappears. And then she just starts. Somehow she gets to the area which our other protagonist lives in, and she basically just for places to stay, she gives herself to other guys to let them do what she want. Will let them do what they want to do with her for payment. But when she meets him, he's like the complete opposite. He never. Only thing he asks her to do when she moves into his place is to basically keep the place clean and cook.
Wash the
That's
dishes,
it.
please. That's it.
That's it. They tell me nothing ever happens between them. There's like 2 episodes where they lay in bed with each other and they just talk, and it's like the 2 episode closest towards the end. But it's like nothing sexual. They just talk. And I gotta look up the author's name of it because I do know he did say that he's doing another light novel dealing with, because at the end of the show there's a 2 year time gap and he's doing a light novel to explain what happened in those 2 years, because there are 2 other women that are in that are of the age of the main character. They're the same age. They work at the same place.
Interesting.
And so there's a 2 year time gap where our main character leaves, and these two women are in love with him and they want to be with him. So he's going to write a book about that. So we'll figure out why. Uh, Spoilers for anybody who didn't get that far. She comes back after 2 years because she does patch things up with her parents, and then she goes home. And she comes back 2 years later. So I'm thinking they said she's 18 or 19 when she comes back. So she's an adult, and she comes back to him. But the two women, he still works with them, but they're not in a relationship with him. Neither one of them. So it's like, did nothing happen or nothing go on? But she comes back, and that's kind of where the show ends right there. Where it was basically reflecting of the same time 2 years ago. She's sitting in the exact same spot when he coming back home from the bar again. He sees her because she basically the same conversation happens again, and he takes her home. And time has passed because she's taller, her hair is longer, she looks more mature for 2 years. But trust me, it's a really good series. This is probably one of the series I watched it subbed and dubbed. So once I started watching the first episode, I watched it all the way through subtitle. Then when the dub started coming out, I rewatched it again. Still love it. Definitely gonna pick it up on Blu-ray when it comes out.
All right. Now, this is probably gonna be a slightly cheesy. Well, no. Okay, we'll go with the more serious one. A anime. Now, this anime technically appeared in October of last year, but finished in early this year of 2022. The Faraway Paladin. This is a very nice anime for those. There's plenty of isekais, yes. I'm always picky. I have to be picky. There's too many isekais nowadays. But Faraway Paladin is very interesting. The main character is born into the new world with his memories of the old still. But he is born in a ruins of a temple where a skeleton, a ghost, and a mummy are. And they raise him. I know this sounds very strange already or off the top of the bat, but the three that raised him, they were former heroes. They basically had to make a pact with the god of the dead or whatever to keep a certain ultimate evil sealed there. Now, the skeleton is like the greatest warrior. He's a warrior class type. The mummy, she's a cleric, but it's like a loose religious of a god or god in there. It's really weird to say. She does like daily devotion still and it sets her on fire because she's a mummy, undead, holy magic, don't mix, but it still happens. And the ghost is a wizard. He wanted ultimate knowledge and everything, so yeah. Now he ultimately, they teach him everything they know, and he ends up going off into the world to find an answer to stop this ultimate evil from coming back, because what those three heroes did, that only lasted so long. In the earlier part of that series, the mummy and the skeleton knight end up I'm trying to remember. I'm trying not to spoil a bunch of stuff, but end up sacrificing themselves to basically stop the ultimate evil from coming out. And it's only the ghost that's left. So he has about a year or 2 years before the ghost wizard has to eventually ghost himself again, basically. That's really weird to say, but and form an alliance and all that. It's something worth watching for something that it's on par on there for Rising of the Shield Hero to me, which I'm going to go and read the light novel or the manga at least of that, and we'll probably pick it up on Blu-ray. I hope it gets another season. It definitely is intriguing.
What's the name of it again?
The Faraway Paladin.
Because when you first started explaining, I was thinking it was something else. But I said, no, that's not it.
Now, I'll throw a more silly one at you. The Skeleton Knight in Another World. It's an isekai. Yes, I know. Someone says they just like isekais. There's a couple I like. I just think there's too many. It's way too many. Overpopulated genre. Damn you, Sword Art Online. That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Is that an isekai?
Yes, it is. Skeleton Knight in
Nice.
Another World. Basically, he all right. He's a like warrior paladin. So now there are special skins in a lot of games and all that. Well, his character has the skeleton skin on. So he falls asleep, finds himself woke up in another world. Now he can use all the magic and everything else from the game he was in. So that comes with all the nicks and knacks. So you start seeing him go through the world and all that. And he has several skills like the paladins do. He's got some cleric skills and all that. He can uncurse a lot of things too. People are like, how are you able to do that? Because remember, there's like only certain like low level like uncursing and all that. He can do it on himself, surprisingly, because of the he had to experiment a lot. He was not like Mr. Gones from Overlord, where he experimented and people died or get reused as resources, so to speak. We won't get into that from Overlord because that's pretty dark in there. No, people don't realize that. Anyways, yeah, he casts one of the uncurse spells on himself. His hand turns back into like a regular human hand, but then it dissipates. So he has to come up with a clever disguise at some point when people start seeing him as a skeleton, because he always has his helmet on. But some of the people he's come to trust, he shows. Now you hear him inner monologue lying about that. But as I stated earlier, he had to experiment a little bit on himself, so he like did the uncurse spell. And it's like, oh well, my fib is now reality. I'm just like, you just only caught a break there, my friend. You've caught a break. He is a naturally great character, to follow. His other companion is like a dark elf. She's not the typical dark elves are usually like sometimes like the what is it? It's like a palish blue with white hair. Elves in this series are that are like the dark elves. She's not really tanned either. She just has like the white silver hair and deals in like fire magic, so that's what dwells her, I guess, as a dark elf in this universe's elves. So it's very interesting. It's definitely something I would recommend. The manga is definitely a laugh. It's up there with now I love Goblin Slayer. I know a lot of people don't like that because of like the beginning, but I'm like, well, let's put it this way: the guy hates goblins for a reason, and they even
people hate that. If you watch like the first few minutes of it, a lot of the stuff that people were complaining about, it wasn't even that graphic.
They didn't show that. The light novel goes into far worse description. Plus, Berserk is a lot worse in like visualization of terrible things happening.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about the cooking.
We will not talk about what happened in the in hell itself almost. Anyways, now I don't want to like. We will go into another one in a moment. But Mr. Chris, have you been watching Chainsaw Man? I have to ask. It's been the late
Mm,
start. It was the
not,
late start.
not. I haven't started watching it yet. Like I've kind of gotten to the point now. I'd rather them just finish the season and then I can just binge watch it, and I don't have to keep waiting week to week to see it.
They have finished it.
It's just like Bleach. Like I'm finna probably start watching the new Bleach season because I think it's at its hiatus point. 'Cause I know it's 13 episodes in,
Huh. Yeah.
but it's on my list because everybody is telling me Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man,
The, well, I,
Chainsaw Man. To say it'll cure cancer if you watch it.
well, I will. Okay, to give you because I went and looked at some of this dude's previous work. Forget. Let me, folks, give me 1 second. Let me get the author's name because I don't want to mispronounce it wrong. That's not what I need. Give me 1 second here. This dude is. I'm not kidding you when I tell you about this. Some of his other work. It is. It is toxic. Tatsuk Tasuki Fujimoto. Hopefully I pronounced that right. My apologies if I didn't. He has some earlier work. Like I was shocked at like reading some of his other stuff, like the one shots he's done. They're so good. I'm not kidding. If you, I will go with another one of his works. I'm trying not to like be over crazy when I praise this dude, but I'm like he is going to be the next big Arthur for Shonen Jump. I'm not kidding. Because this man, we will use an example of Fire Punch. For those that don't know, this manga surprised me. And for those that don't know, this dude's only 30. So this dude's got a hell of a career ahead of himself. By the way, his writing, it feels like watching or reading like Spawn in a sense. You know how Tom McFarlane became a really good writer besides being a great artist. This guy has such raw talent for writing and all that for his mangas. Just turning on a dime and like letting the panels tell their story and using the like right amount of words and everything. Like and I'm not even talking about like how gory this stuff is. It's just Fire Punch. I'll tell you a little bit about this. All right.
So he's sort of like what's his name? The
He
guy that does Berserk. Because when you read Berserk, a lot of time it's left the artwork kind of speaks for itself.
Right. Well,
Like
here's the
he
thing
doesn't
about
tell
some of
anything.
his one shots. There's one shot that is about a kid learning to basically get over the death of his mom from cancer. And he's doing it through like a film type deal. You can't tell if it's in his head or we're all watching a film as an audience, but it's really well done. There's another one he's done as a short. It's between two young manga like artists. One is amazing at writing. They're both like fans of each other's. The other one that's like amazing at the art is super jealous of the one that can write. The other one that can write really well is super jealous of the other one that can draw amazingly. It's funny. But they both become really good friends at the point in these one shots. But they're like both of these you know how like one shot mangas are, they're like 40 50 pages. This dude did like 200 pages. That's usually the full volume of one manga. The full volume. You've got to be kidding me. And these are just the lighthearted stuff. Fire Punch with all right, the set of the Fire Punch for those that haven't, here's a quick synopsis. Fire Punch, the world's in an ice age. That's pretty fucked up. I don't care if this gets demonetized, whatever at this point. It's messed up. I mean, the main character, he ends up getting regenerative abilities. Like, say, he gets hurt, instant regeneration. There are other people that get powers throughout this. It's not like My Hero Academia where everybody has different powers. Everybody gets similar powers. There are people who can shoot lightning. There are people who can shoot fire. Some people get regenerative. Now, his village has to resort to, it's winter. It's an ice age. So, guess what happens? There's a scene where you see his sister chop off his arm. Grows back. And because he's the only one in the village that regenerates. So, guess what? They don't pin him down or anything, but he ends up becoming a food source. It's the ice age. You're gonna do what you can. And so there's this other guy, his fire. He's like, yeah, your whole village has resorted to cannibalism. It kind of wasn't by choice. But it's not like they were harvesting him, like just strapped him down. But yeah, he's like, yeah, guess what, dude? I'm gonna burn your whole village now. This villain basically just sets fire to the main character's village, and this fire does not stop until whatever it is he unleashes disintegrates to the last bit of ashes. So, guess what happens to our main character? I want you to think about that for just a moment. He gets set ablaze and spends 8 years in agony. Holy guacamole. He cannot die. His body is regenerating so fast the fire cannot put him out. He basically goes through all of that to the point, yeah, he's just like, all right. He's like a cursed man, but can use the curse to his advantage at this point. You meet some weird characters throughout this story. I am not kidding. It is a wild ride to read. Let's put it this way. There's a guy that really loves dogs. And then, don't you love dogs too? Chris, I hope you know what I'm talking about because I don't want to go any further than what I'm going. I am not kidding. The author's like, yeah, this is in the book. Huh? It's not Berserk level shenanigans, but it's like, yeah, this is in the book. Huh?
Yeah, because I think what's that Mondo SD in the chat actually he knows the manga you're talking about with the two artists.
Oh, the two artists?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the two mangakas as a tribute to kind of. What's going on, Mundo? I'm sorry I didn't see you there, bud. Let me see. I will pick up. God, please do forgive me. The two mangakas, because this was some of his earlier work. The one shot. I have to let me pull up Shonen Jump's main site because
so it's a Shonen Jump one shot.
Yes, they are. He's had 3 one-shots.
So they might eventually just put them in a collection and put.
Oh no, they're on Shonen Jump's like app. You can go read them right now. Like they are worth reading. He's got a couple other one-shots. That deal. One deals with like I think it's The one of them is called Look Back. That's the one about where the guy has the student has to deal with his mother dying from cancer. If I remember. Give me 1 second.
Now I'm definitely am looking forward to actually while I'm on vacation next week to actually finally sit down and watch the new Bleach season. Because pretty much from what I've heard, everybody pretty much says it's pretty much awesome from beginning to end. Like the animation and everything. So that's definitely one thing that it's probably going to be Sunday. It's going to be my first day. So that's probably the day I'm going to sit down and just binge watch through all 13 episodes to get caught up. But yeah, Bleach is probably one of the ones I actually am looking forward to.
Oh, it's Look Back. Look Back is the one that is the Come on. Let's see. Yeah, it's the two mangakas. It's called Look Back. It is seldomly really good. Give me a second here. So Mundo. Yeah, Look Back at And the other one I was talking about, where it's the kids having to get over the death of his mother passing away. That is darn it, what is it? Goodbye Era. Here, I'll put it in the description there for Mr. Chris and Mr. Mundo. They're really good. So I'm not kidding when I think when Fujimoto here is like, he has raw talent. Like, he is Chainsaw Man is where I think he's really he hasn't peaked, but he's definitely perfected his craft.
But it's the one everybody probably knows him for, because
they know him for Fire Punch and Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, it's probably the more popular of his works. Which, like I said, I'm going to sit down and watch it. When it comes to watching anime, I kind of just want to watch it straight through. I don't want to have to keep waiting week to week to see the next episode. And my backlog is so full now, I can actually go back and watch stuff and wait till the series ends. Because I think the dub is actually coming out almost faster than it normally does for Chainsaw Man. Because usually the dub is about 2 weeks behind the subtitle. 2 to 3 weeks behind the subtitle, but it seems to be, if I remember right, it's pretty much almost like maybe like a week behind the subtitle, which that's extremely rare for them to do it like that.
I forget. Go ahead.
Because the Simul dubs usually, like I said, they usually have that big gap between them, that at least a 2 week gap. So if they're hitting it every week and they're only like 1 week behind, like, they're really pushing Chainsaw Man hard.
But you got to remember, part 1 is only 97 chapters. What I'm shocked they didn't finish out, like, season 1 is 26 episodes. I forget where they kind of ended the arc. I think it's after I can't remember what arc they've ended this on. I don't know why they haven't, like, just go through the whole part 1 arc. But yeah, it's kind of short. I think they stopped just before they introduced the Bomb Devil hybrid. I can't remember. I feel like I have such a short memory for some of this.
So is it complete?
No, they stopped at 1 arc. What I don't understand
is the manga complete?
Oh, Katana Man arc. Yep, Mundo's right. It's Katana Man arc. The manga has a part 2 going on now. They're animating part 1 now. Part 2 is about a different person, but it's still in the same universe. That's the interesting part about it. It's part 2 is mainly about the War Devil, but we won't talk anymore about that. Yeah, well, I mean, Chris may not know who Katana Man is, but I mean, essentially, just to give you a heads up, Mr. Chris, Katana Man is like Denji. He's a hybrid devil.
He has a katana for a head.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's a giant katana, and he has katana arms. When I first saw it, I was like, "You're pretty blunt about this." Okay. Wait till you see the Bomb Devil hybrid. That's very interesting.
It's like, I'm on vacation this week, so it's definitely gonna be trying to catch up on a lot of anime stuff this week.
Mundo, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't we see what's his name make a Meet the Future Devil? I'm trying to remember. Oh, well, I don't want to talk too more into it, but yes, Best Girl Power from Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah, I know. Cause you trying to get the statue of her.
I might. I'm still debating it. But here's my favorite thing, because I love this when people like finish reading part 1. People or I just laughed so hard at this. Everybody's like, Makima's the best. She can do no wrong. Everybody's like, oh, I want her to to pet me and all that. I want her to make me into like a dog. I'm like, how many of you are that desperate? I was like, my God, internet, calm down. Then after they finished part 1, they're like, that bitch. I was like, well, what'd you expect? You deranged buffoons going gaga over. Oh, she's so beautiful. When Best Girl was there the whole time, Power. How dare y'all?
I'm pretty sure because I've seen her pictures starting to pop up a lot more.
What, Power or Makima?
What's the one that has the horns? The one that you were trying to get the statue
That's
of?
Power. That's her name is Power.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've starting to see her pop up a lot more on my timeline, just from random people. So I'm guessing she's like the new hot waifu.
I'm looking at Mundo right now, and I got the banhammer ready to drop on him. Damn Makima simps. I'm kidding, Mondo. Everybody's allowed to love who they love. It's characters. But yeah, Power, she's a fun character. Let's put it this way, and and some people always don't like not Makima, but Denji, the main character, and Power, they don't like love each other or whatever. They're like best buds. Like if you go and sit down the opening here, well, let me get the opening going. I don't care about the copyright strikes or whatever. I love this one scene in the opening.
I'm gonna just say something controversial once we get to the next topic.
Is that even possible?
But now, there's a certain show I want to talk about that I'm just gonna have to put it on Front Street. Cause I think have I seen the Chainsaw Man opening?
Here, I won't play it because I don't want to deal with the copyright strike shenanigans. You may have not, but listen, I'm not dealing with that.
So Power's she's one of those kind of girls.
What? Power is a friend who annoys you, but being with him is a good time. Yeah, pretty much that's right. And as Mundo said, Fujimoto, there are so many references to movies and such. It's not even funny. Like the suits are a callback to Pulp Fiction, if I remember correctly. I'm just like, thank God this is a popular series. All I have to do is get a suit as a cosplay now. Thank God. You have no idea how annoying it is to make cosplay props.
Which I definitely am, because me and my wife looking to go to MomoCon this year. Well, next year.
I need to go there as well. I've never been.
I think we probably just go for a day. Because I think right now a day pass is like $44.
Well, that's not bad at all. Hell, might as well get a 3-day pass.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember what the 3-day pass was, but I think it was like $75-$80 for the 3-day pass. Well, 4-day pass, because they're going to be Thursday through Sunday.
Damn, that's cheap. Damn. Park yourself in a damn tent.
Yeah, but I probably ain't gonna be on vacation this. I'd say we'll just go on my day off Thursday, look around, have some fun.
Hell, I just might take a damn week off and do that next year. That's that cheap,
But I got a question for you, sir.
Huh?
I got a question for you.
All right, next topic. All right, Well, what are we gonna do here? What do you throw the question at me? Throw a curveball.
Why? Why is Attack on Titan so popular?
I it's kind of a.
Because I looked at the first couple of episodes, and I'm like, I do not get why people are so hyped on this show.
I think it's more of the time frame because that was probably like one of the more mainstream like animes or mangas or whatnot to actually be like really really brutal to the point where like, hey, I like this character, dies to a titan the next chapter. That is where I think it is. Plus the story was actually pretty good. Like the mystery of it, all the main characters that you like they're all trapped on this paradise island with these giant people that are butt naked for no damn reason, and like they will get eaten if they are not careful. They're trying. They feel like they're the last remnants of society.
Like I can see why people like the action scene. Like the action scenes, I will say, are pretty cool.
Yeah,
when they're just flying out, they're zipping out around on the little things.
I think that's
like,
where it's cool.
But even when people spoilers, when Levi was supposed to be dead, I'm like, he's not dead.
No, it doesn't matter about that. Don't even care. Don't even worry about spoilers at this point. They've had enough time to go read Attack on Titan or watch it.
Because I remember when it popped up on my timeline, everybody was talking about it. I'm like, did you see him die? No. Okay, then he's not dead. Unless you see them die, they're not dead. And what happened? I can't remember what. So all of a sudden, he pops up. He's in a cave with bandages on, and he's all good. I'm like, I told y'all, like, dude, this is simplistic writing for this show. And people kept talking about how good it was, and I'm like, if you look at the anime ranking charts that goes off the analytics from the views, Attack on Titan, the last season of that everybody was so hyped up for, it didn't even stay number one the entire time it was there. It was bouncing between, it was number one maybe a couple of weeks, and then it started going from 2 to 3, and sometimes down to 4. So I'm like, I just don't get why people like this show so much.
Well, it was liked up to the point till the ending. Because the Arthur is like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going to write the ending different now. I'm not kidding.
So now I know what it's in my hate. Now I know what it's in my hate mail.
That's where a lot of the hate mail. He basically wrote the book so he could open a bathhouse. Literally, that's all he wanted was the money for. I was like, well.
No, because people were getting on. The only reason I stopped looking at Attack on Titan and didn't care about it because people got on my last freaking nerves about watching that show to the point where I was like, F this show. I don't care. And when they finally said they were going to end it, I'm like, thank God. Just had to go one more season with it and I won't have to hear nothing about it. Then all of a sudden, oh, well, no, we're going to split into 2 arcs. I'm like, God, Jesus.
I hate when they do that. It's like Harry Potter. We're going to pull a Harry Potter. Deathly Hallows. It's going to be one movie, right? Aha, no, 2 parts. Fuck.
Yeah,
it's like, come on.
It's even the show that I like and I think is pretty good, Demon Slayer. I think it gets hyped up way more than it should be. And I love Demon Slayer, but I'm like, it's okay. It's not as awesome as y'all try to make it out to be.
I think the problem is when it comes to like the hype backlash, is like Mondo saying. I think the show lives up, like Demon Slayer is a show that lives up to the hype. But the problem is there's only so much of like momentum that goes with that hype, because like when you got to the entertainment arc, I'm like, y'all are gonna finish this up in like 1 season, right? Go ahead and finish. Don't drag this out to make more money. Don't do that. But they have.
Didn't they finish it in 1 season though?
The entertainment arc, Now you got the fortress arc you got to go
Yeah.
through.
Oh, the black what is the blacksmith arc? 'Cause I think it's combining two arcs with the other two demon slayers. Which I'm actually more interested to see the female demon slayer because her sword is like a whip.
Yeah, you're going through the blacksmith arc and the infinite fortress arc too. I think they're going to do. They just should just finish it all and just be done with it. But yeah, hers is the love Hashira. She has not when I say unnatural muscles, like her muscles are like folded 8 times, so she is like hyper strong.
I'm not even gonna ask how that's how do you fold your muscles?
That's just how she was born. She was just born naturally, just inherently strong. And her hair being pink and green, that's her natural hair color, blah, blah, blah. Anime, don't anybody ask why. That's just how it is for the story.
I've gotten used to that. I find it odd when anime characters just don't either have pink, blue, or some just outrageous color in their hair.
But, I mean, she's the only one that can wield her sword, basically. Because the way it's made. I'm not kidding. Like when they give you the description for it, and it kills me. Like my favorite Hashira, the Snake Hashira, man, it kills me. We only like learn about his stuff till like towards the very end of the series. I'm like, man,
is that going to be like the main thing of Demon Slayer? Like each season is them with a different Hashira.
No, they just kind of go throughout the story. Thank goodness the story doesn't stagnate. Like, I was like, all right, we got several villains to fight. It's not rushed or anything. It's well paced. To give you an example, that another manga that's around the same like pace wise, Beastars is around like 200 chapters. It's just well paced, good writing. Like that. That's all I ever ask for in a series. That's why I really like Beastars and Demon Slayers. They're well written, they're well paced. Everything, the art and everything is really nice.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, to go back to Attack on Titan.
Because the movie, it was certain parts of the movie in Demon Slayer where it was kind of very slow paced. It was like, okay. You need to pick it up a little bit right here.
Well, they do that for a reason because like the last 20 minutes of that movie,
oh yeah, the last 20 minutes, like when
my God,
Red Goku and him go at it, is like I was surprised. That was the one thing I would say about Demon Slayer in that movie. It actually fooled me because I would never expecting him to die at the end of that movie. I'm like, okay, he's gonna fight him. He did his ultimate attack. I'm like, okay, he's probably damaged him, but he's gonna retreat, and Rengoku's gonna be seriously hurt, but he'll make it to the end. He'll make it when the medical people come, whatever, And it's like, oh, he just punched a hole through your chest. Yeah, that's not a good thing for you. And it just caught me off guard. And I said I should have known it because they sat there and they gave you way too much of his backstory. And I'm like, I didn't think about it until I'm like, they're giving you too much of his backstory. He's probably not going to make it out of here.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't. Sadly, it was just that's just how it is. But I mean, his death. Like his death was used as a push for the main 3.
And his catchphrase has now become basically the catchphrase of that whole series.
But then again, I'm not lying. When I first watched the movie, and he's just sitting there, staring menacingly, delicious, and he just kept going. I'm like, I'm about to walk out of this theater like this is Cats. Holy guacamole. But to get back on topic of Attack on Titan being popular, it was different. It was different at the time it got introduced. People really enjoyed the story. There was good writing till the end. Just how it is.
Mm. I don't doubt it's good writing in it because even though I haven't watched it, pretty much everybody done told me basically what's going on in the show. So I'm like, that's interesting.
Main character wins, even though the main character is bad guy. Go figure.
Well, no, 'cause he's more like a genocidal maniac right now.
Like I said, main character go from good guy to bad guy. That's oversimplification, but
Yeah, and the meme that it wasn't that he broke the cardinal rule in anime. You never hit somebody while they're transforming. And he was just like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead. As soon as the guy would transform into a titan, before he could even get the muscles on, he just punched him and just laid him out.
Nope. Nope. Not dealing with this crap. Nope. I don't know what's going to happen. Nope. Don't even want you to power up.
But I think I'll probably go ahead and skip the whole season and then probably watch the final arc. Because I pretty much got a grasp on what's going on in the show.
It's
So I
not
can-
really hard to follow. You'll just miss some like minor subplot stuff that may or may not matter to you.
If I want to go back and just watch the fights, I'll just go on YouTube.
Now, to go a little bit more above something you and I both really love, Gundam. The Witch from Mercury. Have you been keeping up with that?
No, that's one of the ones I'm gonna catch up on when I'm on vacation.
I'm gonna throw
I thought you was
a
gonna.
stick at
I thought you was gonna talk about the disappointment of this year, the biggest disappointment as a Gundam fan of this year.
Go ahead, talk about it. Try not to.
Yeah, Hathaway's Flash.
Trying to forget that. Trying to forget that existed.
Probably what I'm like the biggest single disappointment for any Gundam fan was watching that movie.
Okay, to be fair, no, G Savior was, but we won't get into that.
No. I'm not gonna let you get away with that one.
What?
I would rather watch G Savior than watch Hathaway Flash. I have Netflix now, and I have not watched Hathaway Flash since it came out.
First off, you're paying for Netflix, which is your biggest mistake. Continue.
But no, I would watch G Savior. I had G Savior on DVD when it came out. I would go and rebuy that movie again before I would ever pick up a Blu-ray copy of Hathaway's Flash.
I mean, I will be in agreement with you.
I understand now. We didn't get the third Thunderbolt movie,
God,
but we got Hathaway's Flash.
Where's the third Thunderbolt movie? Chris, you're getting me upset. We'll talk about that in a moment. But yes, you're right. Hathaway's Flash, like for those that don't know, Char's counterattack. I don't care if some of y'all haven't seen this. This shit's so old now. It's from like freaking late 80s.
Like it's what 25, almost 30 years old.
Something like that. Yeah, Hathaway Homero, I accidentally killed your girlfriend. I'm not going to tell you though. They take.
Well, they do address that.
They take Bright's son. They turn him into like some rebel leader. And I'm like, why? You took one of the most, like, this guy had like, what? 10 minutes in the movie at max. Go ahead.
And he was an unlikable douche anyway in the movie.
He was a kid too, so I'm like, Bright should have slapped him. Bright didn't slap his son enough like he did Amuro. All it took was one slap from Mr. Bright to Amuro. I hate how that's a meme, but my God, I like the suits in the show or in the movie, but they're just so cumbersome too. Like the chest pieces alone, I'm like, why does the suit have this? Oh, it transforms. I'm like, I guess this is supposed to be like the pre-era stuff before Zeta and Double Zeta. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Mm, no, it's after Zeta.
Oh, okay.
It takes place because it takes place, I believe, 12 to 15 years after Char's counterattack. So it's before Unicorn technically comes after that, after
Okay.
Hathaway's Flash.
Okay. Okay. Good.
But it is but it kind of like Hathaway's Flash to me when I look at it, it breaks canon because the way that the mobile suits are designed, the Minovsky propulsion engines and all that stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, they don't have any of that in Unicorn. They're still using regular Vernier thrusters and stuff like that. So, like, what happened to this technology within with that time period from Hathaway's Flash to Unicorn? Like, where did this technology all of a sudden like they downgraded?
It
Uh,
is a bit strange. Good lord. Let's see. I don't know.
But
Like,
but I ain't gonna cut it a little slack because they do actually touch upon him killing Chan in the movie, and they kind of do. It's like a little throwaway line where it's like his father kind of covered it up a bit to get it to keep him from getting into too serious of trouble because
let's.
he did technically kill a Federation officer.
Yeah, he should have got in trouble for it, but didn't. It's very weird.
But oh man, we didn't even get a chance to. We didn't even review that one.
Which
What's
one?
name? Dozel's Island.
We just never. We were supposed to go see it, but we never got to. What's weird
No,
is
it never came this way, and it didn't even come to like McDonough. I don't even think it came to Georgia at all.
I don't know. I got a copy of it if you want to watch it. You want to review it later on. All it really is just the episode of the one of the not lost episodes, but one of the what's the word I'm looking for? Banned episodes from America or whatever.
Right. I wanted to see it just because I really want to see because I know this is how Gundam, Bandai, and Sunrise how they're starting to do Gundam now with this the blending of like CG art with like CG mobile suits. Because we saw it in Hathaway's Flash, and we saw it in that one where like the mobile suits are like CG.
It's done really well in Iron Blooded Orphans and The Witch from Mercury so far. Those have been the two that have really blended like the 3D and everything really well. Gundam Unicorn kind of had some good spots with that, but kind of varies.
Yeah, that's probably still one of my favorites though. Iron Blooded Orphans. I don't know. I just can't. I've never wanted to go back to it after I saw it one time. I'm like, wow, this is dark and depressing.
Well, the lady that
And
writes
then
that, it's either you like her writing or you don't.
I probably could, man. I like what's the girl when she's shopping for the bear. She's like, oh, I fall in love with this guy, and she gets gunned down in the bear shop. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's it's pretty messed up.
this is kind of rough. And I guess I just didn't particularly like it because it kind of went away from like the Gundam like political intrigue stuff. There weren't really any beam weaponry. It was all like melee stuff. I know, and I get it. Sunrise is trying to expand out into different genres with Gundam. That's why you kind of like the movies are more like serious, and then the TV shows are kind of like Bill Fighters and Iron Blooded Orphans and Double O. They're kind of just going off in all these different directions. Witch from Mercury, and like I get it because they got to do something to spice the franchise up. Because what Gundam's 35 years old.
Almost 40, give or take.
Yeah, cause because that's what I think the Universal Century stuff is always going to be like the movies. They'll
No,
do.
it'll always be the main stuff. There will be side series like Build Fighters, Iron Blooded Orphan, G Gundam, and all that. They're still going to
which is
always do the
terrible.
mainline stuff.
Which
I,
is terrible. Bill Fighters is terrible.
I couldn't get into it. I like the concept of it.
The concept of it is basically like Gundam fans arguing with each other. Well, the Freedom could beat the Wing Zero. No, 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 no. The
So you mean just
Togi,
people that build the model kits that yell online at each other all day, like we
yeah,
normally do? Except they can
yeah,
actually use the models to like play a game.
yeah. That's all it is. It's just your fantasy. You could just throw any because when I watched I'm trying to remember which one because I actually did watch one because I said I wanted to watch it all the way through. I think it might just been the first build divers because the YouTube channel actually has it up there for free. So I just said I'll watch it. And basically all it was like a way for Bandai to make new model kits. That's basically it. But it's just like Fantasy Gundam, where everybody can just you can put your favorite Gundam up against another Gundam, and just who would win? Destiny Gundam versus Heavy Arms, Double O Riser versus whatever Gundam versus New Gundam.
Or the mash of model kits. How I can take part of this model kit, and make my own. All right, this can beat all the other Gundams. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're right about that, Amanda. Gundam is almost like $1 billion industry in Japan with the model kits, the shows, and all that stuff.
Pretty much. I mean, good lord, they have like 2 life-size Gundams. I
Three.
must go see.
Actually, have three. They have the Unicorn. They have the one in Yokohama, the moving one, and the one they're building, and the Freedom Gundam they're building in China. No, they have four because they have New Gundam somewhere else too. So they have 4 statues, which is kind of crazy how the Freedom Gundam is in China.
That's so weird. I don't like it. Whatever.
But yeah, that's one thing my wife already knows. If we go to Japan, we're going to see the life-size unicorn statue.
Your wife's gonna be like, fine.
And I think it transforms every hour.
Something like that.
So I'm like, yep.
want to go see the OG Gundam. They're
Oh, the one. The one that's in Yokohama.
Yeah, I want to go see the one in Yokohama.
Yeah, I want to see that one too because it can actually move. I'm like, yeah, we're almost there. If I can live just a little bit lower, I might actually get to see a mobile suit.
Well, I mean, they are real life. They technically are real life mobile suits. I forgot what company it is. They actually made a full functioning mech. They only just uses like bead weapons. It can use actual functioning weapons if it wanted to. But
that's the size of a Gundam.
No, it's not the size of a Gundam, but it's the size of a car, if not somewhat bigger.
No. I want to see a Gundam size.
You've actually seen this mech. Listen, man, for a mech that size, the current technology, we ain't got that. We ain't there yet.
What was it was something. It was a video game in Japan. I said if I ever got, I was going to try to go before
where
they
you
got
get the. All right. Well, if you're going to do that, I have to ask this: Space Noid or Earthling?
They both have a good point, but I probably have to be Space Noid. The Federation is just corrupt. Like, there's good people in there, but the main brass of the Federation is completely corrupt. Like,
not as corrupt as those Space Noids.
But the Earth Federation is more justified in some instances because you drop a space colony and basically nuke half the planet. That's not going to sit well with people.
We didn't mean to do that. Oops. Are you sure?
Like when you start using colonies as weapons, I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to deal with y'all.
When they dropped that, didn't they technically destroy Australia?
Yeah, but it's hard. You really both sides have good
Australian.
reasoning for what they're doing. It's just their methods.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, all right, these Earthlings are drop a damn
Because
call.
it could the Federation has what it's destroyed colonies, it's gas colonies and stuff like that. Like so,
Yeah, but well, you could reuse the colonies too. You drop a damn thing on the planet. That's worse than dropping nukes.
yeah. But even with that, I think even the space noise were kind of like, okay, we might be going a little too far because Shaw's counterattack, he's about to drop that asteroid, and everybody kind of realizes, okay, what are we doing?
It's like,
We're about to basically create a nuclear winter on the planet and kill half the population of Earth still. And
that's
they
fine.
try to stop it. They try to stop access.
That's fine.
And they finally realize Sean might be nuts.
Just a
Like
little.
he might be going a little too far with
I,
this.
I think they
Like,
figured that out a little too late.
no, but even though I kind of want to say like, because the Shard's counterattack, I want to know. I actually want to know at the end of the Shard's counterattack, what happens to New Gundam after Armor is absorbed into the psycho field frame or whatever mystical mumbo jumbo they want to use to explain why him and Shard just disappeared. Because they do a it's like a short little 20, I think it's 20 or 30 minutes episode that basically return to access where like former Xeon remnants actually go back to access to find out what happened to Shar. And you see the Sazabi, the wreckage of the Sazabi sitting in one of the craters. And that just made me start thinking, like, whatever happened to the new Gundam? Did they just basically scrap it after that, or like what did they do with it?
I don't think they scrapped it, but they probably they. I mean, they probably did scrap it.
Man, it was a brand new mobile suit.
Yeah,
Uh,
but you know how it is. It's don't leave stuff lying around. I mean, you and I both have seen Gundam Thunderbolt. Know what happens when you leave the Psycho Zaku around? Damn crazy cult leader's like, oh, I can use this for mind control. Oh no.
mm, that battle was actually pretty good.
Oh, it was. They better finish the third movie. Damn it, I need to see it. I haven't read the manga series of it, but I'm about to just to go finish it.
Mm, like I said, that's Gundam, but it's been a outside of Hathaway's Flash. It actually was a decent year for Gundam.
Yeah, it was, but yeah, Hathaway's Flash. I don't know what they're trying to do with that. That's just out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what they're doing. Like if you watch G Gundam, you know what's going on. You know where it's going. You know how it ends. Hathaway's Flash, it's somewhere in the timeline. Just don't know what we're gonna do with it.
I mean, it's actually a manga series. They base it off of it's a light novel. I think it's like 3 books.
Ugh,
I think it's 3 books that they're adapting.
good
So
grief.
even though the first movie, not that it was bad, it was just the fact that it was just a lot of just setup. It's not like Unicorn where Unicorn gets hits the floor running after probably about the first 30 minutes of it. I say it's 30-40 minutes before he's in the mobile suit fighting. Hathaway's Flash, it takes forever before something actually happens. And then the battle at the end is so anticlimactic on what happens. It's like we just waited all this time to finally see the two Gundams go at it, and if it gets less, it's probably what 5 minutes, and then the movie ends, basically setting up the second movie, which we might get next year. We might get in 2024. Who knows?
We'll soon see. Well, Mr. Chris, I think that covers us pretty much for most of the year. What do you say?
I think it is, sir. I think I'm looking forward to next year and a lot of series that's going to be coming on next year.
Oh Oh yeah,
A lot of good games coming out next year.
Oh, definitely.
But hoping this is going to be. I'm gonna say, man, I ain't gonna say I'm hoping. I know it's gonna be a good year next year for everybody.
It's gonna be a great year. It's gonna have its ups and downs, but definitely gonna be a lot better than like the last two have been or three.
Definitely.
All right, Mr. Mundo and everybody else in chat. Chris and I shall wish y'all a great day and a great
Have
night.
a happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's from us at the Questionable Perspective Podcast to all of you. And please drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Anything else from you, Mr. Chris?
No, I think you summed it up. Enjoy yourself, but be safe out there. And let's go into 2023 on a good foot.